Hey everyone, welcome to the brand new Bells Basement podcast. For the first time, I'm not stuttering. That's a good start. I'm Bells from Bells Basement, and this is Blaiden from a famous channel, Cats the Way Babe. Isn't that right?
Actually, I changed my channel name.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's Uncle Bladen now.
Uncle Blaiden? Why Uncle Blaiden?
Well, you know how Ted Kaczynski,
No.
the Unabomber?
No.
Okay. Well, people call him Uncle Ted. He was a terrorist. He was a domestic terrorist who bombed universities and airports and like a computer store, and he wrote like a giant manifesto about his beliefs. He believed in anarcho-primitivism, and so, but a lot of what he said holds true to today, because he was very critical on technology, and obviously technology is, had its goods and bads, but people call him Uncle Ted, so I decided I'm going to go by Uncle Bladen.
Oh, I see.
Yeah.
I hope YouTube doesn't take this video down, but
No, they won't.
yeah. But anyways, this is a podcast where we're gonna be reviewing an album every single day, a new release from this year. Whether it's good or bad, it's basically if it's a new release, it counts. I might even
Facts.
should I review a Nathan King album whenever it drops?
Absolutely not. We will never, ever review a Nathan King album. If not for the fact that they don't drop on Fridays, which I like the idea of the album drops on Friday, we listen to it on Saturday, or we listen to it on Saturday and then record the podcast while it's fresh, and then we upload it Sunday.
Mm-hmm.
Tim does not drop on Fridays because he's unprofessional. And so he only drops albums whenever everyone is available to join the live stream or like the premiere.
Yeah, like at fucking 1 a.m.
Yeah, and not only that, but his music's bad, which music can be bad, and we can talk about bad music, and I have a feeling that we're going to be talking about bad music today.
Yeah.
But Tim's music is especially bad, and I know it's bad going into it, so I don't want to I don't know. We can do my albums, we can do Sprawl, but
yeah.
No Nathan King.
Yeah. Hey, by the way, for anyone listening, you should probably check the my debut album. Anyways, we're gonna be reviewing the INSANO by Kid Cudi. The brand new Kid Cudi album. I don't know what number this is. I don't know if it's 5th to 7th. Gotta be on.
It's like his 17th album or something stupid like that.
Yeah, because like the only album that I've heard from him was the first one, then Kid's a Ghost. I don't really have
Man on the Moon.
Yeah, Man in the Moon. That one's I really like that one. Like, I still really like it to this day, even if it's kind of dated.
Yeah, I was about to say it hasn't aged very well, especially the production.
Yeah.
Also, I don't really like a lot of his vocals on that album. I don't know. It just really hasn't aged well as a whole, but I used to listen to that album a lot back in the day. So
yeah, I don't know. I mean, Silicon has like a bit of a charm of it. Like, it's kind of dated in a good way for me, where it's kind of
that's fair.
Fascinating time capsule,
It is kind of dated in the way that 808s is dated, I guess. It may be less that it had an impact and more that they just both sound I don't know. I don't know where I'm going with this. Whatever.
Yeah, but
I see it.
But basically, like anything after, I haven't heard. Like, I know that he has like a really hated 2015 album. Like, I think it's called "Speeding to Heaven."
Speeding Bullet to Heaven.
Yeah, that one. I never heard that one.
Very infamous.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, I think this is the first time that he ever made a trap album because, from what I've heard, I never seen people talk about Kid Cudi, in trap circles. So I guess I assume this is probably his first.
No. He's had trap production on his music before.
Oh, really?
I'll say that this goes. It's kind of interesting because trap has several subgenres, and this one's definitely more southern trap, I guess you could say, whereas his other music has been more melodic trap, I guess. But even like Man on the Moon had what I would call trap on it. It just depends. It's different flavors, different genres, all that stuff. I don't like his music. I'm just going to be completely honest. I don't like Kid Cudi. I used to like him whenever I was a kid. has not aged well. I don't have a single song in my playlist with Kid Cudi that does not have Kanye on it.
That's fair.
So, yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
that's where I'm coming from.
Yeah, I mean, from like what I've heard from him, I do like, but then I kind of only heard like his best 2 albums. I assume that the rest is probably not very good. This album, however, it's definitely not a very good one.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm glad you were the one to break the news on that one because I feel the exact same way.
Yeah,
I don't think I can talk about this one at length.
Yeah,
it's so bad.
It's not really bad, but like it's so boring. Like,
oh, dude, it's bad. It's bad. Like a 2-track. First of all, I know I said I listened to this 2 times. I tried listening to it 3 times. So the first time I got 2 tracks in, couldn't do it, and then the other 2 I finished it. It's that bad, and it kicks off. Well, okay, the first song's not that bad. It's kind of just an intro track, whatever, but it sounds fine. And then you get to, what is it, Bounce? Is that the song? Or Keep Bouncing?
Yeah,
and then it's just downhill instantly.
Yeah. Also, like, doesn't help that like every single track kind of sounds the same because like a lot of it is kind of like the songs have kind of like a lot of everything, like, you know, a lot of production choices and, you know, several of other things, but it just doesn't really sound like anything. Like, it just kind of sounds like this big mush that doesn't really have any flavor to it.
It's like the fluoridated water of music. It's kind of the vibe that you get from this album is the vibe that you get from most popular music nowadays, where it's so boring, and I can only surmise that it is boring intentionally to appeal to people who don't feel emotions. Like NPCs. I know it's a cringe thing to say, but NPCs, like, I'm sure that people like Kid Cudi fans, I'm sure Kid Cudi fans love this album, Insano. I'm sure they do. But to anyone who knows what good music is, I can only see them not liking this and seeing it for what it is, and that is, it's boring, it's repetitive, it sounds the same, it's not interesting, there's no differentiation within the album and tracks between the album. It's just bad.
Yeah, I mean, and I will even say that this album probably appeals to like the recent Drake albums fans. Like it kind of has that
100%.
Yeah, like it kind of has that same kind of colorless mush that the new Drake albums have.
That's a good word, colorless.
Yeah,
I like that.
Yeah. Also, when it comes to like the songs themselves, I mean, they're already like hard to talk about because almost all of them kind of feel the same in a way. But when it comes to like songs that I actually liked, there's only really one that I somewhat like at the end. It was called Blue Sky. That one was actually not that bad. I'll actually give that one a little bit of credit. It was okay. I thought that he had interesting production. Like
by the time I got to Blue Sky, I wanted to unload a magazine into my brain. I can't even remember what it sounded like.
Yeah, I mean that's that's completely fair. Because like I was also like completely tired at that point, but also I was really like I guess having kind of a hope for a good song, and maybe it's because like everything else was just so bad in comparison. But I don't know, Blue Sky is like the only song that feels like Kid Cudi was actually in a way inspired. Like he had some well, I know his vocals are bad, but like the production at the very least had some life to it, I will say.
Just made me want to listen to the Electric Light Orchestra song.
Yeah,
that's my take.
Yeah, but I mean, like even at that, I wouldn't really say the song is really that good. It's just that compared to the rest, it's a little better.
Oh my god! And then you have the XXX Tentacion song. You want to talk about that one? Do you even remember that one?
I only remember that it has XXX Tentacion, honestly. Like, I mean, what's weird about it is that like it's 2024. Like he died like 6 years ago, and people are still getting like posthumous verses from him. Like it's just kind of like it's kind of sad.
I mean, talk about beating a dead horse, obviously. I didn't even realize it was 6 years ago. That's insane.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think because Donda 2 was supposed to have an X feature, and then this has an X feature. I can only assume that he got it from Kanye. I don't even know if they're still friends anymore. They should be friends because that's the only time that Kid Cudi makes good music. My genuine opinion.
Yeah, I mean, from what I've heard, like I guess they got into a fight. Like they had some, I guess, drama going on that I'm not really all that aware of, but I think that's probably why they haven't really made music since Kid Cudi.
I think, yeah, because Kanye kind of went off the deep end, but then I think they became friends again, and what had happened was, so after they became friends again, I think that's whenever the Travis Scott thing happened. You know about the Travis Scott thing, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, and Kid Cudi was not a fan of that, and so, but Kanye was like defending Travis or whatever. I don't know. This could all just be misinformation, but at this point, who really cares? Any misinformation is more interesting than whatever was on this album.
Yeah, and I think like the worst part about this album is that I feel like this is. I mean, again, I haven't really heard many albums from him, but this is like easily Kid Cudi at his most more like. Again, there's just so little passion to it that it's kind of insane. Because like going in, I was expecting like at the very least to Kid Cudi to do some like I guess some things that were at the very least kind of different or something that wasn't very good, but it was clear that he had a passion for it. But no, it's like it's just like very generic, very feels like it's really just clinging into I guess a trend.
I'll say this much. This is his last album. I read about this on Rate Your Music, so it might not be true. Who knows? But this is his last album with the record label he's currently under contract with. It could be that this was just a contractual obligation. History suggests that it's not, and Kid Cudi's just bad at making music, but who knows? Maybe his next album, if we ever get around to talking about it, turns out to be good because I'm not listening to it any other way.
Yeah, I mean, at this point,
yeah.
I mean, I guess it depends on what he does in the next album because, I mean, again, I feel like Kid Cudi, at the very least, from what I've heard, he has, I guess, some sort of potential. Or then again, maybe that potential was already used for like past albums, and he doesn't really have anything left yet.
That could be true. I mean, he's been in the music game for how long? When was Man on the Moon?
2009.
Yeah. So it could be that he's just out of steam. That's 15 years ago. Jesus Christ. Another thing about this album. I know I talked about how I liked the first track, but can we stop with the DJ drama features in rap albums? It was cute whenever Tyler, the Creator, did it. But Jesus Christ, can we stop? This is like the 5th album I've heard since the Tyler, the Creator album, Call Me If You Get Lost, where we have to bring on DJ drama. It's cute, and I appreciate that era of music, rap music, but can we stop, please?
Yeah,
it's just a trend. They're trend chasing Tyler, and it's like, or maybe Tyler wasn't the one who brought it back, but I'm pretty sure he was.
Yeah, I mean, I'm gonna be honest. I don't know what other albums DJ drama is actually on. Then again, maybe it's because I haven't really been keeping up with I guess rap features as of recent.
The most egregious example was Logic's album. It wasn't No Pressure. It was Vinyl Days. Where he did that. And Logic obviously is going to steal from everyone. He's notoriously, I mean, he called Bobby Tarantino. He's a big fan of Quentin Tarantino. And I think he took what Quentin Tarantino said about stealing the heart whenever Quentin said, like, good artist copy, great artist steal, or whatever. So across that entire Logic, and I know this is kind of a side tangent, but whatever, I want to talk about how much I despise Logic. You have like those Jay Dilla sirens. You know the sirens in like Jay Dilla beats?
Yeah.
Yeah, you just have those littered across the entire album. You have DJ drama. You have like these interludes where people who don't have anything to do with the album talk about the album. Just chasing so many different trends while trying to frame it like he's being original. I don't know. I hate Logic. I'll say this much though. Going back to DJ drama on this album, it is refreshing having a little bit of energy on these tracks. So I take it back. I'll take it.
I mean, I guess going back to Logic, if he ripped off the last call from Kanye like one time before, I feel like it's fair to say that he will be willing to rip off a lot of artists.
Have you ever seen the amount of times he ripped off Kendrick Lamar?
No, I think a few times, but what will be like the most egregious ones?
The song Everybody, I think it was Everybody. It's definitely from the album Everybody, but he straight up copies All Right from T-Pab. And honestly, like, Everybody in its entirety copies T-Pab, but it does it so much worse. And I know there are a lot of T-Pab truthers, especially in our circle, where it's like, oh, it was never as good as it was. But I still think that I still hold T-Pab to a high regard to some extent. I think the back half sucks, but whatever. But hearing Logic's take on T-Pab kind of automatically makes T-Pab a 10. It's bad, but there's like a video cataloging like every single time Logic has stolen anything from anyone. It's a little outdated. This was like a few years ago, but I'll send it to you after the podcast is over because it's genuinely interesting seeing how shameless he steals from people.
Was it before like he decided to come back? Like before, I guess his comeback album.
What was his comeback album? Was it Bobby Tarantino 3? Or are we talking about Logic?
Yeah, Logic. Because like I know that No Pressure was supposed to be his last album, and then he decided to come back like 2 years after.
Yeah, with like Bobby Tarantino 3, which was horrible. I hate Logic. I hate Logic so much. That feller makes no sense to me. But yeah, no, this video was, I think it was even before No Pressure, because a lot of it was from Everybody.
Yeah, I mean, before No Pressure, Logic was basically at his lowest point.
Yeah.
At that point.
Yeah, definitely. Though it could be argued, and I would venture to argue that Bobby Tarantino 3 was Logic's low point. Because how do you, first of all, okay, since we're off the topic of Kid Cudi, which thank God, I don't like talking about Kid Cudi. I didn't like this album. Since we're off the topic, I just want to talk about Logic for a little bit. You have Under Pressure, which everyone's like, oh, genius debut. And you have all those mixtapes before everyone liked. And then he follows it up with just mid, 0, 0, 0, 0. And then finally he does No Pressure where, especially off the back end of Confessions of a Dangerous Mind, No Pressure did a lot in kind of reestablishing him as someone who had something to say at the very least and could make a decent song. And then, oh, I'm retiring, but also, no, I'm not retiring. And a few months or a year or however long later, here's Bobby Tarantino 3, which with some of my worst material yet. Like, he perfectly executed his recovery and then fumbled his recovery's recovery. You could call it a revival. That one's for the Eminem fans.
Perhaps. Yeah. I mean, is there any reason why he decided to come back after retiring?
I think his reasoning was that he sold out before he retired. So, like, the 1-800 song. Yeah, that was him selling out. Confessions was him selling out, trying to... Oh my God, there's this one song from Confessions. Cocaine, 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 male. Or whatever. He was definitely trying to trend chase, and I think his retirement was supposed to signify... Well, okay, his retirement at the time was like, oh, I'm retiring, it's over, the dream's dead. And then whenever he came back with Bobby Tarantino 3, I think it was supposed to be more about, I'm not selling out anymore, I'm not trying to, do any of that, get clout, I'm just going to make the music I want to make. But despite that, his music since his comeback on Bobby Tarantino 3 has been so derivative that it kind of devalues that, I guess, in a way. I don't know if that makes any sense. Basically, Logic's a fraud. He's a quack. He's a loser, and I hate his music.
Yeah, I mean, I get what you're saying. Like, he's basically trying to convince you that he's not selling out, but he basically is.
Well, he's trying to convince you that he's not selling out, and I think that... But then again, you have Bobby Tarantino 3 with, like... Because Bobby Tarantino was supposed to be where his sellout stuff was. It was like his main albums were like storytelling, conscious rap, and then Bobby Tarantino was supposed to be like trap, was the idea back in the day whenever he did the first one. So then to come back after saying... all that with Bobby Tarantino 3 just leaves a disgusting taste in my mouth. Especially because of the more popular trap production on some of those tracks. I don't know. It's weird. Logic's a weirdo.
Yeah, honestly, I'm actually probably check out the I guess the more infamous Logic projects because they do seem interesting. Like I've heard that one song from everybody, Black People, or well, I don't think it was called
Black
Black People, but
Spider-Man?
no, it wasn't Black Spider-Man. It just basically had the. I think you know what song I'm talking about, right?
Not really.
It's like the one that like he was doing the second half of the song where he goes like black people fight for your life, fight
Oh,
for your
okay. Yeah.
yeah.
How many Logic
Yeah.
albums have you heard?
I'd say 1.5. I've heard his debuts.
Mhm.
I remember it was pretty good. Like I didn't thought it was amazing, but I mean it definitely had some promise, like some definitely promising beats. I remember the last song from that album being really good.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, and I tried to listen to what was it, Supermarket one time,
Oh God.
and I couldn't finish it.
Yeah, Supermarket's a rough album. You have with such classics as Bohemian Rhapsody.
Oh my
I
god!
wonder if the book's any good because you know that album was supposed to be it was a soundtrack to a book for some reason. I wonder if the book's any good. I'll look it up on Goodreads real quick. I hate Goodreads. Goodreads is such a dog shit platform. What is it? Supermarket?
Yeah, Supermarket.
Okay. We'll just see where the average is here. By Bobby Hall is his name. It's got an average of 3.3, which you would think is good, but Goodreads, they really like overhyping books on here. The top reviews are all 1 stars though. So I might get around to reading it.
Yeah. I mean, how many ratings does it have?
How many ratings? Let's see. 20,000 or just about 21,000.
Oh. Yeah, because I was about to say maybe it had like very few ratings. It was probably just because of just a few people.
Yeah.
But no, 20,000. That's I guess that's kind of legit.
Indubitably. The rating trend has it at most people rate it a 3. However, it is not the 3. Like it's very. What would you call it? Like all the lines are almost touching each other, so it's almost even across the board. You know what I mean?
Like divisive.
Yeah. Divisive. A lot of 1 stars, and 1 stars are the most popular reviews. So I can only imagine that this is not a very good book. I don't even know what it's about. Who cares? Anyways, Kid Cudi. You want to go ahead and put Kid a bow Cudi, on this? Because I don't really want to talk about Kid Cudi, honestly. I kind of want to just go back to the main Discord server and join VC.
I guess I'll say just one more thing. This is definitely not an INSANO album.
Kill yourself.
That's it.
No, I'm kidding. What would you give it out of 10?
I originally gave it a 2 because I guess like by the end, even after that one, I guess semi-good song, I was like really pissed off. Like I was like, oh my god, this was so long, it was so boring, and it just felt so lifeless. So I originally gave it a 2, but then I was like, you know what? Maybe it wasn't that bad, and I guess I kind of reverted to a 3. But I mean, still terrible. I don't know,
fair.
man. It's just
I guess. I don't know.
I mean, I guess the point is that this album is really bad. It's not really even interesting. It's just Kid Cudi at his most uninteresting, uninspired, and just like even for trap, because trap is not even like a genre that I really like that much. But I mean, trap has like generally good stuff about it. Like you can actually have some artistic merit when it comes to trap. You can do a lot of things with it, but this album just felt like the most generic out of all the tropes. Like it just felt like it was just doing it just for the sake of it.
You know that Glorb song, The Bottom Two, with like the SpongeBob AI?
No, honestly, I'm gonna be honest. I don't think I've listened to it.
Okay. Yeah, I would rather listen to that than ever hear anything from this album again. 2 out of 10. I didn't actually listen to it.
Wait, really?
Yeah, I didn't actually listen to it.
Wait. For real?
Yeah, this is payback for the Infinite podcast.
Transition? Yeah.
No, okay. We can. I'm down to keep this podcast because I like it. I will listen to the next one. I did not.
Wait, you actually
No, I
listen?
didn't.
So you just like you only look at the track list?
No,
and,
I made it two. I tried to listen to this album. I made it. I tried 2 times to listen to this album. Both times I got to track 2.
Oh,
I was not.
I was like,
I was
okay.
not initially planning on this to be payback for the Infinite podcast, but then along the way, I thought, yeah, I just can't do it with this album. This would be really funny if the first one of our podcasts had me not listen to the album. So,
Well,
did got.
I was like, oh, at least you listen to like a part of it, like like the first half of only the first songs.
Yeah, I listened to the first 2 songs, and
well,
the first one was like fine. The second one was not very good. So that's why I'm giving it a 2 out of 10 because I listened to 2 songs.
I mean, sure.
I'm kind of being based right now. So
yeah. Well, I mean, the next album that we're gonna be covering is the new Green Day album, and that one is also probably not gonna be very good. So
Green Day still makes music.
I guess. Yeah. Believe it or not.
Jesus Christ. Okay. This is going to be my first Green Day album.
Wait,
Yes.
really?
I will judge the entire band's merit off of how good or bad this album is, and history suggests that it will be bad. So,
honestly, like, I know that would be like really funny, but like, you should listen to like some of the older stuff. Like, it's just like that's like listening to Donda 2 as your first Kanye album. Like,
I guess that kind is of like that's not a bad comparison. I'll say this much though, from what I've heard on American Idiot, because Howard was showing me some songs. I don't think Green Day's for me, so I don't think there's going to be a whole lot lost if I don't like the album. But this is my first Green Day album, so
yeah. I mean, like even outside of American Idiot, because I like that album, but they do have some stuff that is kind of different, and even like how that is very like because like American Idiot's very 2000s, like has like a lot of those political I guess quote unquote themes and like 2000s production. But I mean like their 90s stuff I think you might like.
Okay, maybe I'll give it a try if I like this album.
Well,
anyways, you want to close this out?
Well, sure. This was the first. Thanks everyone for watching. Thankfully, this was not a failed podcast part 2.
Thank God.
Yeah, that's right.